Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I've got some news updates for you from around the land of smiles. It's Tuesday, January 20th. Don't worry, Jay is alive. He will be coming back tomorrow. I keep saying that over and over again, but I swear to God, he will be returning. Now, today we're going to be talking about a mysterious nudist resort going viral in Thailand. Everybody's trying to figure out where this place is. A scandal involving police accepting bribes to release suspects, and a little later, a man quite literally rolling at this weekend's EDC festival. Before we begin, though, please remember to subscribe to the Thaiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand. And a quick word from our sponsor, that is Fazwise, fazwise.com. If you're looking for any sort of real estate in the land of smiles, you should go to fazwise.com. They can help you buy, rent, or sell your property in a heartbeat. There we go. Anyways, not our only plug today, guys. I have a new show that I'm running with my friends over at Soy Funny on Soy 11. Over at the Golden Giraffe, we have a new show called The Giggling Giraffe, which is a more one of these another advanced open mic night. It's for the first time. The Golden Giraffe is a new venue that has just opened up on Soy 11. It's a live music venue, and we're going to try and throw some comedy in there and have some fun on Tuesday nights. So this is our new weekly Tuesday show. So if you are free that evening, come and join us for some laughs and some drinks, hopefully too. Now, on to our first story of the day. Don't giggle. Now, Thailand's Naturist resort has garnered widespread online attention. So, a previously little-known Thai nudist resort has become the focus of social media after a guest shared photos and impressions of the experience. Obviously, we have to blur this stuff out for you guys. So this drew a bit of curiosity and surprise. Visitors are expected to remain unclothed during activities such as walking, swimming, and sunbathing, with firm rules against public sexual content and unauthorized photography. Staff are on hand to ensure privacy and comfort, and participants can report discomfort if they feel stared at. That would be a tough challenge for me. The resort emphasizes body positivity and equality, aiming to create a relaxed and respectful environment. Interest in this niche travel spot has opened up discussion about alternative tourism options in Thailand. Apparently some other rules. You got to wear a towel if you're going to sit on any surfaces that might be shared. Good rule, I think. But I don't know. This is one of those, hey, you do you things. I'm curious to know if you've ever been into a nudist colony or anything like that. Let me know what your experience is like. This is funny because it was a bit secretive, the location, but it's not a secret. People know where it is, right, Tan? Do people know? They found it? Few people know. Look at this. I think that's what's driving up the curiosity. People just want to know. And it's certainly one of those alternative lifestyles that piques a lot of people's interests because few of us could imagine doing it. Right? But it's also a bit tantalizing, the idea of it, because, we all like nudity in our own ways. But unfortunately, what I've heard in many people's experiences, and of course it's a body positive thing, no matter what you look like naked, you should be free to do it. But I think the old joke goes, most of the people who are going to nudist colonies are not exactly the people you would want to see naked. Not what I'm saying. That's just the ethereal they say. But anyways, speaking of people you would want to see at a nudist colony, Thailand has responded to Trump's Gaza peace panel invite. That's right. Thailand has reacted to an invitation from the U.S. President Donald Trump to join a peace board related to the Israel-Gaza conflict, prompting debate over Bangkok's role in international diplomacy. Officials have weighed in on the country's perspective regarding its place in efforts to mediate or contribute to peace initiatives. Some analysts and commentators have shared varied views on whether involvement would enhance Thailand's global standing. The issue has stirred discussion among political commentators and the public. Broader implications for Thailand's foreign policy direction are being discussed. And of course, in order to join this Gaza peace panel, it costs like $1 billion, I think is the price tag for it. So that's a pretty crazy thing because it's not like there's a limit to how many people are allowed to be involved in this. And it's also unclear how meaningful your position on that Gaza peace panel would be. Does it raise the profile of Thailand in becoming involved in international diplomacy? Sure, maybe. One of the interesting aspects about this is that Thailand had a very disproportionate amount of hostages taken in the Israel-Gaza conflict. So there might be more of a stake in the game for Thailand than other nations that could potentially be involved. But very, very sort of interesting concept. Also, I think it's one of those things that might be a hot button topic politically for domestic politics in Thailand, because it is going to cost so much to join that committee that the Thai public will be like, hey, how couldn't that $1 billion be better spent somewhere here in Thailand? I'm not sure. So it is, for me, it's a peculiar endeavor at all. Feels like a grift. Like, where does the money go? What is the money intended for? Like, why? Like, don't we already have the UN? Don't we already have committees that are sort of dedicated to trying to bring about peace? I don't know. It seems like another one of those long lines of unilateral American positioning that kind of forces the hand of other partners in certain ways. And I can't keep up, man. Like, the news moves so quickly, but this one does, in fact, it does involve Thailand. So here I am reporting on it. Look, let's move on to some more controversy. Apparently, guys, this I am struggling to wrap my mind around this one. You'll never believe it, but a safety award for the construction firm behind the recent crane collapses has, rightfully so, brought about a bunch of online criticism. So the Italian Thai Development, or ITD, received a safety award despite facing scrutiny over fatal construction accidents, leading to questions from industry observers and, the public. Critics argue that granting recognition amid deadly incidents raises concerns about the criteria and oversight used for such honors. Families of accident victims and safety advocates have expressed disappointment, calling for more accountability in the construction sector. Authorities and award organizers are under pressure to clarify their decisions. The controversy has sparked broader conversations about workplace safety standards in Thailand. Bad optics, I would say. It kind of ruins the legitimacy of this award in any kind of meaningful way. Even if this is something like, look, these kinds of awards are just sort of, I imagine, allegedly, bought and paid for. Like, as many industry awards are, right? Like, we all, like, there's big conferences, conventions, and, like, the award goes to the person who paid the most for it, right? Like, this happens all the time in many, many industries. This seems to me more than likely would have been the case, because if we were just going off of the performance record of this company, certainly in recent times, we would probably not be awarding this safety standards trophy in light of current events. So, it just kind of adds salt in the wound to victims of the families who have been affected by these tragedies. Like, hey, what about a bit of justice? Who's being arrested? Who's responsible for these things? And while all of these questions are still being answered, how about an old pat on the back for how great your safety standards are? Seems disingenuous. Seems like it ruins the legitimacy of the award, whatever the award was. And it just feels insulting, honestly. Again, I'll say allegedly, big old allegedly on the back of all of that. But it does feels wrong, I gotta say. All right, let's move on. Our next story is a bit of a shocker, a very depressing one. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna bring you down before I bring you back up after this. But a mother has claimed that a hospital delay led to her newborn's death. So, a Thai mother has publicly blamed delays at a hospital for the tragic death of her newborn, recounting the circumstances that she believes contributed to the loss. In her account, critical medical action was not provided in time, and she is calling for answers from health officials. The case has drawn sympathy and concern from the community, with many urging better response times in medical facilities. Hospital representatives have been asked to respond to the allegations. The situation is fueling discussion about health care, quality, and accountability in the land of smiles. Devastating stuff. Like, of course, at the current section, it's a bit of a he said, she said, but in any case, this poor woman lost her child and wants some answers about why the system failed her. And as I imagine many people do, anybody who with a sense of sympathy, empathy, whatever, would want to know what led to this tragic circumstance. So, and honestly, I can understand the other side probably doesn't want us talking about it. So this is what happens when, I don't know, it's an unfortunate thing when there's a bureaucracy, right? Any sort of bureaucratic process, because it seems like it's easy for any step of that process to finger point to another step and escape culpability. So, but at the heart of this all is this very real human tragedy, where a woman definitely deserves answers and accountability for what happened to her. So, I don't know, sad one, but wanted to call attention to it so that we can maybe prevent something like this from happening again. Oh, anyways, let's move on to our I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm messing with authority a lot today. Look, some police officers. We're moving on to the coppers. Some police officers have been accused of accepting bribes in order to free certain suspects. Several Thai police officers have been accused of taking bribes and helping Chinese suspects avoid prosecution, stirring public outrage and undermining confidence in law enforcement, despite the crime rate drops that we've seen over the past year. The allegations suggest that some officers accepted improper payments in exchange for favorable treatment of those involved in crimes. Authorities have launched an investigation into the claims with disciplinary action possible. Community members and legal experts are watching closely as details emerge, and this case does in fact highlight ongoing concerns about corruption and integrity within the police force. Look, this is a tale as old as time. Police corruption, what? That doesn't happen anywhere in the world. Just kidding, it happens pretty much everywhere in the world. This is, again, I don't know, this is a frustrating thing, internal affairs, right? Oftentimes, we see it all the time in the States. The people in charge of investigating the investigation are themselves, right? So, in this case, apparently this is brought enough of a high profile, enough attention to the situation that there might be some disciplinary action taken out. What that disciplinary action will be has yet to be determined. Community members are watching. Cool. Legal experts are watching. What are they going to watch? I'm not sure. They might just try to call more attention if things don't go the way that they think it will. But unfortunately, as is the case in so many situations like this, the strategy often appears to be to let the dust settle, let everybody calm down a little bit, and then quietly move on with our lives. So unclear what punishment might actually come about in this case. Unclear what the bribes allegedly were and what the crimes for these suspects were involved in were either. Yeah, as Seeking Shalom says in the comments right there, accused, bribes, outrage, allegedly. I should have worn my allegedly shirt today. I just got one from Mike and Jeannie. Hi, by the way. This would have been a perfect day for it, but I wanted to save it for when Jay was here, so tomorrow it will be. Ton, am I going to get in trouble today?
Possibly.
Let's find out. All right. Our next story is an update for you guys. Anyone with a cell phone in Thailand, that's 100% of you. A nationwide cell broadcast alert is scheduled for today at 2 p.m. Thai authorities have announced a nationwide emergency cell broadcast alert set to be sent at 2 p.m., aiming to test or activate the alert system across the country. The alert is designed to reach mobile phones to inform residents of emergencies or important information. Officials are reminding people to not be alarmed when they receive the test message. The nationwide test reflects efforts to improve communication during crises. Public reaction includes curiosity and questions about how the system works. So, anyways, yeah, if you have a phone, just be on the lookout for a test message today. I think it's a good thing because obviously one of the deep traumas of Thailand was the tsunami that happened in 2004. If there had been better alert systems in place, the damage, the loss in human life could have been mitigated a bit. So I think this is a very important step, particularly with things like, we got an earthquake last year. Natural disasters are a thing in Thailand, although they are few and far between. So the better the warning system, the better the outcomes will be. So I'm excited that this is going to be going. I hope that it's not abused. I remember in the States, I don't know, we would get Amber Alerts a lot. I'm not saying that that's abuse, but sometimes if it becomes overused, it's almost like a boy who cries wolf situation. And I'm not saying Amber Alerts are crying wolf. What I am saying is that if you get these messages too much, inevitably people just ignore them. So it is important to use them in really important situations so that people don't ignore the message when it does come through. I want to answer this question really quick from Mark. Serious question, Alex, who would censor you? Nobody, really. It's just like there are certain boundaries within Thai media broadcasting that include Section 112 and the rules that are clearly outlined in that law, and defamation. Right. So if you're saying something negative that is not verifiably true about somebody that damages their reputation, there is some legal recourse for the damaged parties. So that is one of the aspects of like working with the newspaper, is that a lot of the sources that we have are they're third party sources. So if we get in trouble, there's somebody else in front of us that gets in trouble first, right? There's a front line to that that insulates us and actually makes it so there's a team effort going on if something like that happens. And if there needs to be a retraction, we retract and we apologize. So that has happened to us in the past as well. But in terms of censorship, I have not been yelled at by any authority figure yet. And that's something that I love about Thailand, particularly compared to other countries that I've lived in, like China, where there are many more rules about what you can and can't say. And even our neighbors down here, like Cambodia, I would argue, Myanmar, surely, Vietnam as well. There are many, many more limitations on your freedom to report. So good question, Mark, and happy to answer it. And also I agree with Wu-Tang. AIS is the best network in Thailand for mobile service. Is that... That's the opposite of defamation. All right, now we will take a quick Fazwaz break, right, Tom? Oh, thank you, Fazwaz, for that refreshing break. If you guys need any real estate solutions, go to Fazwaz.com. Buy, rent, or sell. They got you covered. Tony does bring up a good point regarding to what I was talking about earlier. So you say allegedly, reportedly, I've heard. It's all hedging language. Exactly. Well, it is part of the strategy a little bit. I'm not a big fan of the allegedly. I like to report facts and stuff, but I've just been advised that it is a good strategy. And trust me, guys, I do my research. I do make sure that I know what I'm talking about with most of the news stories that happen here. And that's just something that's sort of carried over. Maybe Jay's rubbed off on me because he says it a lot. And it's... for me, I think it's a cop-out tactic, but it also has an important. It's an important mechanism for potentially staying out of trouble in hairy situations. And trust me, when I say allegedly, usually it's a soft allegedly. I generally mean what I say. It's more about preventing legal recourse. Anyways, I'll get to your comments at the end, Tony. Our final two stories. Here's a fun one from EDC over the weekend. Guys, you got to be careful when you go to these music festivals because you never know who's going to be rolling. And in this case, we mean it in a very literal sense. A man's roadside rolling incident caused a traffic disruption after EDC. That's right, a viral clip shows a foreign man rolling on a busy road near the EDC Thailand Festival in 2026 over the weekend in Phuket, halting traffic and prompting widespread online reaction. As you can see, he is quite literally rolling. Can you roll while you roll? Maybe this guy was. The footage shared on social media depicts the disoriented individual moving on the road amid heavy vehicles before a friend helps him to his safety. Netizens responded with a mix of humor and concern, highlighting risks posed to drivers and festival attendees. The unusual behavior briefly disrupted traffic flow in the popular tourist area, but local authorities have yet to detail any follow-up actions. Look, funny, but very potentially dangerous. That guy could have easily gotten his head squashed by somebody that wasn't paying attention. Fortunately, his friends were there to help him out. I would imagine there might have been some substances involved in this behavior. And I was thinking, Shalom's like, is that Jay? I don't think that was Jay. Although that might be the way that Jay had to get around with his broken toe, of course. Look, sorry. I just had to put that story in there because I saw the headline. Man caught rolling at EDC. I'm like, why? How is this news? And then I clicked on the video. I'm like, oh, there it is. A little different than what I expected the video to be. For those of you that don't know, do I have to explain what rolling is? I know what it is. Rolling is doing ecstasy, people. Okay, there. I'm now informed. So that is usually what it means in the cool kid language, but in this case, it was meant in the very literal sense. Could have been both. Could have been both. I don't know. All right. Now our last story, a nature tale. You know me. I like the wild animal stories over here. A Himalayan vulture was rescued after it collapsed in Tak province. All right, glad people were on the scene. Wildlife rescuers in Tak province cared for a Himalayan vulture found collapsed, bringing attention to conservation efforts for the species. The large bird was discovered in distress and taken to a rehabilitation center for treatment and recovery. Veterinarians assessed its condition and provided necessary care, aiming to nurse it back to health before possible release. This rescue highlights the challenges and dedication involved in protecting vulnerable wildlife in Thailand. Local communities have expressed support for the conservation work. Himalayan, baby. So super cool. I don't know if you guys know anything about traditional Tibetan sky burials. These are the birds that come and peck at the bodies out there. So if you're unfamiliar, in traditional Tibetan burials, they basically sort of leave your body out to be consumed by these birds. So very interesting macabre lore behind these animals. Very interesting to see it fly this far south. I'm absolutely not an expert on the migratory behavior of Himalayan vultures, but I just thought it was fun. And again, I love seeing conservation efforts where people are in place and knowledgeable enough to be able to take care of these very interesting and indeed endangered species. So, fun one for me. What a way to go! Would you do that, Tan? How do you want to be buried? What happens when your body? I would always think cremation. Just would you be buried or cremated, like burned?
Buried.
Buried?
Yeah.
You want your body intact still? I don't know. Getting eaten by birds seems like a fun one. I don't know. How would you go? Let me know in the comments. All right. Feed the birds, says Damien. All right, cool. Now, donate to Science as a Cadaver. That's a very important one, Tony, actually. Maybe that's what I would do, too. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Now, that'll do it, guys. Thank you for tuning in for this. Hey, by the way, Alexander, how you doing? I'll talk to you in a second. Thank you very much for tuning in to this edition of Good Morning Thailand. We will be with you again tomorrow as the dynamic duo. Hopefully. I keep saying this over and over again. Jay should be back tomorrow. In the meantime, you can go to thetiger.com to catch up on more news updates throughout the day. And you can go to ASEANnow.com to join the conversation on Thailand's largest expat forum. Don't forget Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can find us anywhere you scroll. You can see more of me and the rest of the Thaiger team producing content for your beautiful little eyes. Now, for now, I will say goodbye to the YouTube audience and say hello to everybody watching live in the YouTube comments right now.
If you like that story, please like and subscribe. And for more Thailand news, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok at The Thaiger, or you can go to thetiger.com and join the conversation.